What's up everyone, Cithrel here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Ancient Koros, which is the second and in my opinion most difficult boss in Cithrel's Fall. This boss has 3 abilities to look out for, 2 of which can get out of control if not dealt with properly. The first ability is Volatile Orb. There is no cast bar for this, but Koros will turn and face their target when using this ability. From what I can tell, this is always cast on the target farthest from Koros, allowing it to be baited by a specific player. A small swirling portal will appear under the player's feet, and a few seconds later, a spike orb will emerge and slowly move towards the original targeted player. For now, that player must move away from the orb, while other players need to just avoid it altogether. I recommend having one player bait these orbs, as it will make it easier to remove them later on. The next ability Koros uses is Calamitous Fracture, which has several components we will go through one at a time. When the ability is first used, a purple circle with a beam of light will appear. If not dealt with, the circle will turn into a very large void area on the ground where anyone within takes significant damage. If this appears, it will make the rest of the fight much more difficult, but as long as you can avoid the area, you can still win. To deal with this ability, however, one of the players must move on top of the original purple circle within a few seconds of it appearing. If successful, the player will absorb the fracture and receive a debuff that cannot be removed. Instead, the debuff has a duration of about 6 seconds, at which time it will expire, doing damage to the player and creating a smaller void area under them. This allows the players to place the small void areas so they are out of the way of everyone else, and also limits the size of the area, making it much more manageable. While these areas are smaller if dealt with properly, they still do significant damage if you stand in them, so be sure to avoid them throughout the fight. Take note that whichever player absorbs the fracture and places the smaller void will receive another debuff after it is placed. This debuff cannot be removed and causes the player to take additional damage if they absorb another fracture before the debuff wears off. Because of this, you will need at least 2 players rotating to absorb the fractures, as players can easily be one-shot by this ability. The last ability is Shatter Strike, which also has several components. The first is Koros will turn and target one player with Shatter Strike, which is a large frontal cone. The targeted player must turn Koros away from everyone else in the party, as anyone caught in the cone takes significant damage and receives a debuff which will freeze you if not cured. The healer will need to cure ailment after Shatter Strike hits. The good news is, Shatter Strike will also destroy the volatile orbs mentioned earlier. Simply have the player targeted by Koros with Shatter Strike move so that the volatile orbs are within its cone and they will be destroyed. And that's basically the fight. Just keep dealing with the fractures and orbs so you don't get overwhelmed, and DPS down Koros as you are able. Anyway, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and follow for more. Also be sure to check out my Twitch streams where we'll be playing and streaming Fellowship as well as many other games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.